Hello everybody, this is Rita Holmes, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! From Ohio. I'm here to bring you my What's Up Wednesday episode 15, and I am going to do a card technique today. I thought I would show you one of the ones that I like that I hardly ever do, and but it's fun, it's quick, it's not hard. I am not going to show you a card before. We are going to do this card from scratch. We're going to do the whole thing so that you can see the technique. I am going to use our new stamp positioner, so I hope you like that. But in the meantime, I just want to let you know that don't forget our product of the month for Stampin' Up! Is a embossing folder called Eyelet. What is that called? I laid it over here out of my way. It is called Eyelet Blooms Die. It is really cute. It's very intricate. I'm not using it today, but these are while supplies last, and it is this month's special. So for $75 order, you can get this for $5. It's a die that would probably sell for probably $25–30. So it's a nice die. I'll show it to you when I turn my camera down. And for a $50 order, which, you know, that would go in with the $75 order, it's not two separate orders, I will send you the link to a video and 2 PDFs for cards for the group that I collaborate with. Those would be sent to you. I am backed up on that. I haven't sent them all out. In the last couple months, I've been very busy with my surgery and stuff going on, but I'm hoping that's going to settle down and we can move on really quick. So what else do I want to say? But anyway, if you place a $50 order with me, I will send you that. And remember that May 5th, our new catalog will come out along with new online exclusives. If you need a catalog, let me know and I'll send you one. For my people, I forgot to do the automatic sending from Stampin' Up! And I'm going to try to get those out to the people I know that I need to send them to. So if you are one that orders from me and stuff and you need a catalog, please let me know. Just message me, text me, email me, whatever. And so I can see that and get a catalog out to you. So what else? I think that's about it. I am going to turn my camera down and we're going to start on this project. And I'll be telling you what we're going to be using and show that to you. Now, you know, on Wednesdays I do not make PDFs. So if you may want to take notes on this, you may know how to do it. You may have done it a long time ago and just forgot about it. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. So let me turn this down and you can see what's going on. Okay, let me get my camera here in line because I don't always see or pay attention or whatever. So as you can see, here's the die I was talking about. Then can you see how intricate that is? It's very pretty. So that is the die. That's for the product of the month. So it's $5 with a $75 order. So there you go. I wanted to show you that. So that's out of our way. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to be using vellum. We're going to be using a stamp, and we are using the stamp set. I'm going to set that right on top of there for a minute. We're going to be using the stamp set Fragrant Flowers, and this is on the online exclusives. And as you can see, I've used that one a lot. Look how pink it looks. So anyway, we're using this stamp that's right here, and then I'm going to use the one of the sayings that says just a note. So we are going to get started here in a second. I will tell you I'm going to use the pearls. They're really delicate. I think they'll they're great for this design. I'm also using a card base of the thick basic white cardstock that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've already folded it. This is a piece of the new in color crisp cantaloupe cut at 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And this is cut 5 by 3 3/4. It's basic beige. And then I have a little banner from the Banner Punch, which is on the online exclusives right now, but it will be moving into our new catalog when it comes out May 5th. So that is what we are going to be using, along with, I know I'm going to be using the crisp cantaloupe. I haven't used these yet. I just took them out of the package. Crisp cantaloupe blends, the hydrangea hue blends. I did not get the peaceful pine yet. I forgot to order those, so I'm going to use the old olive. Yep. And then this is the Barely Blush, but I don't think I'm going to be using it, but we will see. Okay, so I'm going to set these out of my way so that we can use those in a minute. We are going to be embossing this vellum, okay? And the vellum I've already got placed into my positioner with my magnets on here. And then my stamp will go on like this. I've already got that, so I know where I want it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this up. And to ink it up, you take it off of the hinges. I'm using a brand new Versamark pad that I forgot I bought, and I saw it laying up on my shelf, and I thought, oh man, I could really use that. Now I can't get it open. It's so new, it don't want to open. Look at that. There we go. So I'm going to ink up my Versamark, and I'm moving my paper around, which is not good. So I've got this all nice and inked up. Let's make sure my paper is where it's supposed to be, and it is. I'm going to take and put this on here, and I'm just going to give this a nice press, and I am going to rub on that because I know I'm not going to be able to see it good. So I just want to rub it, make sure I got a good image, and I'm going to let that pop up, and hopefully it doesn't bring my paper up so hard. I'll lay this over here out of the way for a minute. And if you can see where I have that stamped. So let's move this out of my way. We don't want to get stuff all over it. So I'm going to move these two things real quick. I'm going to bring in my coffee filter. I forgot to use my little embossing buddy, but that's okay. I always forget to do it anyway. I was hoping I'd remember. Let's put this on here. I don't want to get embossing powder into my stamp. That's not good. So what I'm going to do is I got the white out. I wanted to make sure. This is white embossing powder. I'm going to take this and hold it over my coffee filter. And I want to get this covered really good. So I'm just walking it down, making sure. And I want to get some more onto that side right there. And I'm going to flick just ever so lightly. I don't want it all to come off. That would be really bad. I'm going to add this back into my collection there. Lay this over where it goes. Taking things out of my way as I go, so it's not as crowded. So there we go. Get all that off. Now I'm going to turn my heat gun on. And I'm going to, let's get this ready though. I'm going to hold on to this with a pair of tweezers. I got that ready. I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to let it get a little bit warm before I start. Now don't put your hand way up there on it, because it will burn you. These things get hot. And then I can do this from the back or from the front. I usually go from the front. I do not wave it around because I want the heat to center on one part, and then we'll just move it as it goes. You can see it getting glossy. And when that's getting glossy, that means that it is working and melting that embossing powder for you to be able to do your card. Come on. I don't know why it doesn't want to melt this right here, but it doesn't. Here it goes. Come on. So make sure you have everything melted on here. It will turn white and shiny. I can do it from the back and make sure. There we go. Oh, right there's a little piece. There we go. All right, I think it's good. Yeah. Turn that off. It's noisy, isn't it? So here's what we have, okay? I'm just going to let that sit here a minute and cool. You can notice that this is kind of flimsy from where it's cool. I'm going to turn it over. Just going to lay this block on it for a second. Well, I put my tweezers away. I finally bought me some reverse tweezers that work well. So now what I'm going to do is I want to show you how to color on vellum. So I'm going to bring my camera really down close so that you can see, okay? I hope that's not too close. So anyway, we're going to turn this over like this, and I'm going to color on the back. So let's color the leaves first. And what I'm going to do before I do anything, get the lid off. And this is the dark, and I'm just going to add some dark, like in my leaves, just a little bit. Not a lot, just so it adds a little depth. And it doesn't matter if you go over the white, because you are on the back, it won't show, which is a great thing. So I don't know if any of you have colored on vellum, if this is an old technique to you. I hope there's some people in here that haven't seen it. And then I'm going to take the light, and I'm just going to color my leaves in. And as you see, I'm not going out of the white lines on the outline part, but on the inside, I am going over them. And it's okay, nobody's going to see them when we're done. This is such a fun technique, and I always forget about it. And this stamp works perfect for this. I actually did this in one of my in-person classes, which I usually don't do what I do on those in my videos. But I tell you what, I'm running out of ideas. So I need to just use up what I can in my little knowledge box in my head. You all have a knowledge box in your head? I think my knowledge box is broke, but okay, let's turn that over. And can you see the green leaves? How those look? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color the flowers. And I'm going to take the dark Calypso Coral, and I'm just going to kind of outline these lines here. Of the flowers, just doing a little bit of that. I didn't bring a yellow over for the center of my flowers, and I usually put yellow in there, so I may have to get me a yellow real quick. So I've colored the inside of my flowers. You can barely see that. I may go back over them. I wonder if my bigger end will be darker color. Sometimes that happens, but it is not any darker. So let's take this light, and I'm going to use the big end. And it doesn't even look like it's coloring. I'm going to have to test that, but let's go to the small end. Let me make sure we got some color on there. Yes, we do. Let me do it with my big end again and see. I just wasn't seeing the color. I think that's it. This is lighter than I thought it would be, but it's on there. So let's just continue with this. And I might end up going back over this with some of the darker if I need my flower to show up more. So we're just going to color all these flowers. I hadn't used these colors before, and this looks pale on the vellum, and that's okay. You can use really vibrant colors when you're doing vellum because it's on the back. I'm more of a pastel-y type girl. Does everybody like the color? I love the color. I don't do it near as much as I'd like to. So let's see what our color looks like. Let me add it to... That's going to look pretty. I'm just going to leave it this... I think I'll go back over them a little bit. It'll just help darken them some. And that's what you can do when you're using a light color and it doesn't color as dark as you would want, but you don't want the real dark color. Let it dry a little bit and then just go back over it. It'll darken it some. And don't be afraid to color on vellum. Vellum is easy to color, but you do need to use alcohol markers. They dry fast. The other ones won't dry. So we have those. Now we're going to use the blue. Let me try the light blue first, because I want to see how dark it is here before I decide to go real dark. Let's see what the darker one does. Well, I think I want to use the dark. So I'm just coloring these berries, or whatever they are. I think they're the buds to that, but I like them the different color, instead of putting everything the same color. And then I'm going to get, I think, a yellow, because I don't have the golden glow yet either. Let's see what I do have over here. Let's see. What is this? Here's Darling Duckling. I'll use Darling Duckling for my insides of my flower. Okay, can you see that? Does it look really light to you? Okay, I'm going to show you what it's going to do. I'm going to put it on this basic beige and see how that brightens all of that up. You can put it on white also. Let me show you what it looks like if you would do white. I think the basic beige gives a nice contrast to the white embossing. So that's why I like it on that. So what we're going to do here, we're going to put this on here, okay? And what I do is I use glue dots, okay? So I'm just going to tear me off some glue dots. Probably about this many. I don't know how many that many is, but I'm going to put them behind the flowers. It just helps hold it down, and you won't be able to see it. And I will take and stick it behind a leaf. Hope I get that behind the leaf. If not, I will get off my fingers. Didn't stick. Let me try it again. Sometimes you have to press on it to get it to stick. So, just trying to feel my way around those and see. Now what I'm going to do, and these will not show, I'm going to put one in each corner. I did that on another one I made, which I'll show you in a minute. Whoops. I hope that doesn't show. And now I need to add a couple more. I think I'm getting to the end of my roll. What do you think? Well, come on. You got to really press and put a little bit of heat to that. Press that a little bit harder. There we go. So now I'm going to take and put this on the basic beige. And it's just going to fit, so I'm going to bring it to one side and add it. And so what I want to do is I want to turn this over. And you have that down. So now what we're going to do, I have a piece of crisp cantaloupe, and we're going to put this on. It'll just have a small edge. In fact, I'm going to cut this off right here a little bit because it's not quite even. That's the magic of paper trimmers. You can do that and get it to look a little better. And it's okay if this is not laying completely flat. You don't want to put glue in there, because you will be able to see glue. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add me some glue. And I'm going to add this to here. I'm going to turn that over again so I can rub. I just don't want to get glue on that vellum. And now we've got it ready to go on our card. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we are going to stamp our greeting. And I'm going to use pecan pie because I like it with the colors that are there, and it's a little darker. And we're going to stamp just a note. So I just want to ink that up. I'm going to stick that on here. And I'm going to rock it because I made sure I didn't get ink anywhere so I could get all my letters on there good. So there's my just a note. And then I'm going to put just a note on my card. But I think what I'll do is go ahead and add that to the front there. And I'm going to add it with dimensionals. Because right now my card has no dimension, and I just can't stand that. I have to do something about it. So we're going to do this. So this is a card technique. It's just coloring on vellum with alcohol-based markers. And the reason I'm saying that is your water-based markers will not dry on your vellum, and you'll make a mess. You don't want to make a mess. So you need to use alcohol markers, which is what our Stampin' Blends are. They're alcohol-based, so they dry really quick on the vellum. So this is just one vellum technique that I wanted to show you with the markers. I'm going to put this on my card now. And then I'm going to take my just a note, and I'm going to pop that up like right there, I think. I don't want it down there. I want it somewhere up on the flowers. I think I want it down a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on it. And I just line these up to where they'll fit in there. And we'll add us some pearls. Here's our little pearls. And what I'm going to do with my pearls is I think I'm going to add one to each corner where I put those glue dots, just so we can make sure that we don't see them. We'll put 4 in the corners. And we have to do an odd number, right? So now, that was the bigger one. I'm going to take the littler ones. I'm just going to add a couple into my card this way. So there we go. What do you think about that? Do you like it? I hope you do, because it is fun to do. It's just a good little technique. It's easy. All you need is an open-based flower, nothing solid, to where you can color on the back. You can use any alcohol-based markers. Just pick out colors that you want. And here I use the Hydrangea Hue, the Crisp Cantaloupe, Darling Duckling for my yellow, and then Old Olive for my green. And just colored them. Now you could take and you could stamp something in here. You can just write something. That would be up to whatever you wanted to do with that. So with it being white on the inside, I'm not going to do anything with it today. I'm going to just leave that alone. And there we have just a note. So that's my What's Up Wednesday with bringing you a technique this week. And I hope you enjoyed the technique. I'll show you the card we made in class. And with this card, we used Flirty Flamingo, Old Olive, and Fresh Freesia. And that's what we used on this card. And I did a hello, and I put this piece of white. And I didn't want to put anything in there. I wanted to leave that blank. I did the hello, and I don't think I did anything on the inside of it either. So it's just little note cards that you can send off. So I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be able to try it again. So that's all I have for you. And remember, I will be back on Saturday. And I do have to tell you guys, I forgot to do my Saturday video last week. And it was because I watched my great-grandbaby. I called them with the proposition and told them if they would let me watch River, that's his name, if they would let me watch River for a little while, I would pay for them to go to dinner. So I bribed them. My husband said that's not the way it's supposed to work. And I said, well, that's the way I get to watch my grandbaby. I knew they would like to go out to eat. So I got to watch him. And I forgot all about doing my Saturday video. So I'm sorry about that. But, you know, little babies, they just like get a hold of your heartstrings and pull and pull and pull. And you forget everything else in the world. So that's what I did. But I got to watch my baby. I was so excited. I just didn't know what to do. Except for watch him and be happy. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I hope that you will watch my Saturday video when it is on Saturday mornings. It comes on at 10:30. I've been thinking about changing that to 10 o'clock because it is pre-recorded. And you can watch it anytime, and then that way it could go ahead and go up. But I haven't set that in stone yet, so right now it's at 10:30. So there you go, guys. Enjoy your week, and I will talk to you later. Be blessed. Be creative when you can, okay? Bye-bye.